Hello guys, I decided to do this video today. Actually going to be called the evolution of the LGBT plus according to a young woman. And I am the young woman. So this discussion actually started when I was a teenager. I was about 12, 13. And I am actually going to introduce myself a little bit today. I am an African woman. I was born in Africa, grew up in Africa, and then I left Africa. And my best friend at the time was a white, also young lady. So we were all around 12, 13. She was from France. She did not believe in God, unlike me. But she was super open-minded, and this is why we were friends. She never tried to convince me to become an atheist. I've never tried to convince her to become a religious person. And we were friends. She did believe that you could actually be a non-believer and still be a good person. She believed that she believed in the universe. This is actually what she likes saying. She's still an atheist. She's still open-minded. Maybe a little less more because now she has kids. So when we have kids, sometimes you become a little less open-minded because you want your kids to still turn a certain way. And at the time, obviously, a couple of years, decades ago, we didn't have Twitter, we didn't have WhatsApp, we didn't have a whole lot of social media that is there today. So you usually see your friends at school, and then when you go home, sometimes you call them and talk a little bit with them, and your parents just start yelling at you, drop the phone, don't you know it costs so much? So you're like, okay, we'll talk tomorrow. And we hang up. And one day when I went to school, my friend actually asked me, what do you think about all these gay people and trying to get married? And I'm like, I know you are open for it. She's like, yes, I am open to it because I believe people should do whatever they want. I knew her answer. And I told her, well, I agree and I disagree. And she asked me why, and I told her that I agree that people could do whatever they want, and as long as it did not affect other people, it would be fine. But this is not the case for multiple reasons. And she asked me what I thought about it, and I told her, well, first thing is, I don't think that gay people and, the people from the community should go and try to get married in a church, in a mosque, in a synagogue, in a temple, because we were born and we find some laws here that are not human laws. It's God laws, and we're not supposed to go against it. You can get married if you want. You can get married at city council, and that is fine as long as you know that this is what you want, but not in God's house. That is not okay for me and by me. And she knew me enough to know that, well, this was one of the responses that I was going to give her. And she said, you said a couple of reasons. What are the reasons? And I told her, you know what, I'm pretty much sure that if we give in today, we are going to keep on giving, accepting things. And today we're finding ourselves in 2023, accepting that now our kids have to be open-minded to choose who they are when they're in kindergarten. A boy can actually tell his teacher, I want to be called a girl. You have trans people who are yelling at us left, right, and center every day that are inventing and reinventing literature and pronouns and how to conjugate verbs. This is where we are today because we gave in the first place. I'm not saying that I'm not for people being happy. If you want to be gay and you're mature enough, over 18, and you know whatever you want to do, you know whatever you want, that's good. But the same way that people are allowed to be gay, the same way for me, people are allowed to be homophobes. Because I was watching a show yesterday, and it was like a sort of dating show that just to pass time. I shouldn't probably be watching these shows. And one of the couples were gays. And frankly, when we are forced but now seeing men kissing each other, it is not pleasant. I'm somebody who is really prude. I don't even like seeing straight people actually making out. But now, to just be fair in the name of being fair all the time, we always have to have these couples included. So it's not like they can have their own channel. We have to include them on all the TV shows we watch, period. And if you say that you don't want to do that, you're a homophobe. You're a LGBTQ plus phobe. You are somebody who is not open-minded. You're somebody that doesn't want your kid to fully be happy in life because the person is not allowed to say that, I want to be just Jennings, who has been butched, because you now have doctors that are willing to butch people that say, I think I'm a girl, and go cut them with surgery that are not even on point today, and these people can just die from this. But as long as the doctor have their money and don't have to go and stress themselves too much to find solution for cancer, we are okay. This is where we are now. I have stated in this channel that I will never call somebody by the pronouns they want. I will call you by the pronouns that you are born with. And I'm actually going to explain today why I do that, and if the government wants us to continue on this crazy path, then they actually have to reimburse us and our parents the money that we have given to school. Because my parents paid for my school, and I went to school and I learned that if somebody was born a male, the person was a he. If somebody was born a female, the person was a she. If somebody has to be called they, it's because there's more than one person. This is what my parents have paid for. This is what I pay for my kids to be in school. If the governments today can actually block you from saying this, the government owes money because we paid to hear this, to learn this, to get that as a service. And today they can't just change their minds about that. They can't have a children to go to school to just say that, tell us what you are. And if the baby love his mother and be like, the boy loves his mother so much and it's like, I'm a girl. Everybody start calling this little boy she. Even though the parents do not want that, the school is now allowed to do such things. This is what evolution of the LGBT plus has done to us today. If you don't want to see two men kissing, you're homophobe. If you want your daughter to be a daughter, you're homophobe. If your kid happened to provoke you to say these magic word, I identify, you're screwed. This is what it is now. If a boy is not good enough to compete with other boys, he just has to say, I identify as a girl, and go not beat somebody else, next Leo Thomas. Because he didn't win, but because he identified, he was given gold, and Riley got second place. Because Riley was not intelligent, obviously I am being ironic, to use those terms of I identify. This is where we are today, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we are. And we don't find it a problem. Because when we talk about it, people get upset. We don't talk about it. We're not allowed to talk about it. Only some people are allowed to talk about it. Only some people are allowed to have the truth on their side about this. This is how it started. Today, a couple of countries allow people to be married. So we have actually, the conversation started, they were not allowed to be legally married to each other. But today, they're allowed to be legally married to each other, which I don't think it's a bad thing overall. I mean, if you really love each other and you're old enough to know that this is what you want, fine. My biggest problem today, the third problem I had actually that I told my friend at that point is, I don't think that gay people or the people from this community should have kids, because this is what they're going to show to their kids. And today we're beyond that, because not only they're showing that to their kids, and again, some people from this community are really incredible parents to their kids, and the kids get bullied, yes, but they still love their kids. They're still incredible parents to their kids. They still make sure the kids are fed, go to school, open-minded kids, yes. But I always watched it, is the kid really be happy? Because you're always going to love your parents, that your parents are straight, gay, or whatever. A kid always loves their parents. But when you're willing to put your kid to be bullied at school because of the who you decided to change yourself, I have issues with that, because I'm going to support those kids, because I don't want those kids to be bullied. But they're being bullied because of you. And as I said, we have now passed that. They now want school to be teaching these things to everybody's kids. And we have to accept it, or we're not open-minded, or we're transphobes, we're homophobes, we're drag queen phobes, whatever phobes they can actually invent. This is what they will tell you that you are, because you don't want your kid to be traditional anymore. I don't know how this is not right, but my kid is my kid. My kid goes to school to learn what I've learned. My kid can learn the new mathematic expression that came out, the new equation that came out. My kid is not going to learn about what happens in beds between two people at school. I don't want that. I know that even when I was growing up, they started with trying to show us how to wear a condom on a banana and stuff. And it was weird, but since we still had traditional parents, we knew we were embarrassed enough. We looked at it, we learned whatever we learned, but you still had this sort of shame that let you not go there and be like, oh, this is fun, we all know this. No. Now this is what kid thinks. This is natural for kids to know this now. And now kids are having kids. Kids are no longer learning school. The system is so bad that the level of schooling is ridiculous. What a 10-year-old knew back then, a 15-year-old does not know today. This is how low the level has become. But we're all becoming phobes. And you should try everything to not be in the phobes, even if that means giving up your kids' education. I hope a lot of people actually hear this. I am never going to be against a human being, because at the end of it, we all are human beings. But when we're open enough to play around with kids' health, giving them some pills, making sure that they get bottom surgeries when they're not old enough yet, and then they change themselves and they're still not happy and they still go delete themselves, yeah, that's on us. That is on us. There's a reason we had decided that people are not allowed to drink before 21, because we wanted to make sure we're protecting those kids. There's a reason that we decided at what age people are allowed to drive, because again, we cared about those kids. If we cannot actually find age for this to happen to kids, then we're failing our kids. And it's a damn shame thing that we're doing, because we got people they have chosen for us in a very good way. But today, who cares, right? We have to be open-minded to show that we're open-minded and we're free. We're free, we go and butcher each other. The only winner is the doctor. And then when problems start happening and we can all sit and talk about Just Jennings is doing that, and Oprah can have a Just Jennings and make more money out of Just Jennings. It's okay, isn't it? And somebody can die from bottom operation, it's still okay, because she was getting, or he was getting, whatever he wanted. We have to think, and we have to change, because this planet, if this planet could talk, I don't know if it would be happy about it. But anyway, tell me what you think in the comment section. Maybe we can try to find like solutions that can really actually help both parties, because right now I don't think anybody's happy. And it's a damn shame to be on this planet and live your life by not being happy. So we have to find a solution to this without butchering our kids, without asking the baby that is coming out of the womb, what are you? Let's not do that. That is actually not cute. Let's not do that. It was me, Faceless. Drop a like if you like the video. Drop an unlike if you don't like the video. We came a long way, and I don't think that was the right way. I will see you in the next one. Faceless here. Ciao.